This chapter blew my mind. Blew my mind, I'm not gonna lie. So, let's start off. I want to talk about the encounter, the reunion encounter between Minato and Obito. I've been dying to see this moment ever since Minato was revived and finally got in this chapter. And I wish there was more dialogue, but considering the circumstances, I'm not shocked at all because Obito was pretty much in dying freaking pain at the end of this chapter. When he said, you know, Sensei, for a second there I felt like, yo, did we finally get the old Obito back? And it's just like Obito is constantly, he's like a troll at this point. Because it's like, you see him getting the flashback and you're thinking, yo, maybe he's becoming good. Even though really, why the hell are you still thinking about Rin? Drives me fucking insane at this point. Like, why are you thinking about Rin? But nonetheless, it was like, that moment right there between Obito and Minato was priceless. It was freaking priceless. Minato, like, this is the masked man that I fought all those years ago. This is the guy. And it just really was a freaking crazy moment. That was one of my favorite moments of the chapter. Then you go on and you realize that Obito is not going to be controlled by Madara. And I want to just say, Madara's reaction really just makes you speculate, what the fuck is his goal at this point? What is this guy's goal? Because he's not even pissed, annoyed, angry, sad, anything about Obito not being a sacrifice to revive him. He's just there like, oh well, like, what is this guy's goal then? Is it world domination? Is it truly what I said about him basically trying to be a martyr to unite the shinobi world? What is this guy's goal if he's not even upset about not being able to revive himself to a real body and become the 10-tailed Jinchuriki? That twist at the end. Now this is a very controversial twist. Because, at first, anyway, Obito was looking like, yo, this is it, he's done, he's out the window, he's finally done, he's dead, miserable death, here we go. But then he shocks everyone when he comes to Jinchuriki. Now, on one half, it's freaking crazy. This was a twist, like, you know, nobody really thought that Obito was actually going to get it. This was probably one of his goals, indeed, but was it going to actually happen? We didn't really think. We thought this was the end of him. We thought it was going to be Madara. Then he shocks everyone and does that. So, it's crazy on one half, and it's a crazy twist on one half. But then at the same time, looking at it logically, first of all, in order to become the Jinchuriki, you have to have it sealed within you. Now, the only thing I could think of that what went down with this one, because I read this chapter to understand it like 6 or 7 times, because I was just mind-fucked at the end, like, what the hell did I just read? And I kept on and on and on, let me understand this. But I didn't really get much clarification because it really isn't. Maybe in the next few chapters, which I'm really hoping we get an explanation as to how he did this. Because he was pretty much incapacitated on the floor. And I was just like, what the fuck? You know, how is this going down? And I'm thinking, maybe he used his Rinnegan to control the Jubi. Minato possibly killed the Zetsu part of him. You know, the Zetsu part of his body. So now Madara, there's no way Madara could possibly control him at this point because that part is possibly dead or, you know, is inanimate at this point. And now he used the Rinnegan to grab the Jubi and start merging between the two. I wish we would get more clarification because, to be honest with you, this chapter, reading it thoroughly, it doesn't really give you clarification as to how the hell he does it. It doesn't. And possibly since the Jubi was nailed down, weakened as hell, it allowed Obito to control him. That's one of the only logical things I could think of, because throughout the entire chapter, Obito was like this. Another thing I guess you could say is, maybe while he was in this stance, even though it was the Rinne Tensei stance, he was actually chanting to basically seal the Jubi within him. That's the only other thing I could think of, because he was in a stance pretty much like forming a jutsu while his hair was turning white. But that's the thing, that's the Rinne Tensei stance. So would that really actually, would he be able to like use that sort of stance in order to seal the Jubi within him? Not really sure. So that's one of the things that bugged me about the chapter, is that how the hell did he do it? The only thing that it comes to mind is really Rinnegan. That's the only thing I can think of. A weakened Jubi is nailed down. All the Kages got him nailed down. Gave Obito the opportunity to do it, but still doesn't really explain how they merged together. So we need clarification on that immediately, hopefully within the next few chapters. But overall, it was just a crazy mindfuck at the end of the chapter. It was just like, what did I just witness? Obito just actually, he got a couple brownie points from me. He did, because he really, like, even towards the end, still gives Madara the finger, like, you ain't fucking in charge, I'm doing what I want to do. So he gets brownie points from me for that, but at the same time, stop thinking about Rin! Stop already. It's like, we get it. You loved her. You wanted her. Whatever. That's the only problem about the chapter. Is just like, well, the problems in the chapters. One, we need an explanation. Just how the hell did he do it? And still thinking about Rin with a hole through his chest, slashed by his sensei, being controlled by Madara for a bit, and still Rin on the brain. He needs to walk around with a shirt that says, "Got Rin," because the goddamn dude needs it. Overall chapter, freaking crazy. The encounter between Obito and Minato, and then the fact that Obito makes Sasuke freak out. Even Minato freak out at that part where they think he's dead, and he says, "What, you think you guys won the war?" That shit was crazy. A lot of shock value. This chapter provided, if anything at all, a lot of shock value. But we need explanations. We need to understand this, because if not, it could create a serious plot hole as to just anybody can just grab the tailed beast and start becoming a Jinchuriki. We need explanations. That's the only thing. But other than that, freaking shocking mindfuck of a chapter. Let me know what you think. First of all, were you shocked as hell with the end of Obito pretty much doing that? And also, how did he do it? Did he use the Rinnegan to control the Jubi? How exactly did he become the Jinchuriki of the Jubi? And just your overall thoughts of the chapter. Were you mindfucked after reading this one? Again, I read it like multiple times in order to get the gist of it, and I'm still mindfucked. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for that crazy twist, because it's like, Obito, like, yo, you can't keep a good dog down. And while he's not a good dog necessarily, he's still pulling out tricks from his ass. So props to him for that. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.